And hello, welcome again to another episode of Mike Sports. I'm your host Eric, joined as always by my co-host Landry. How you doing tonight?
I'm still very sad.
I know, me too. We had a rough week this past week.
Yep, we're tied.
Yeah,
What the hell?
and it's not like we're like tied at 5-1 or 6-0. No,
Yeah.
we're 3-3. It's kind of reminding me of those couple of years there where the NFC East was definitely the NFC least, and like 3-3, that'd be good enough for what, last place in the NFC West, and here we are sitting atop.
Hey, I lost to the freaking Jets. Let's
Yeah,
be clear here. Mono beat the Cowboys. I mean,
yeah. Dak Prescott, no match for monocleosis.
and I do think, we'll talk about the Cowboys when we get there.
Yeah, yeah. We'll definitely talk about them, and we'll talk about some of the Eagles' struggles and some of the moves that they made this week, or maybe one that they didn't make, which some people thought was curious. But let's get right into Thursday night. Thursday night football, two teams playing on a short week. It's an AFC West matchup. The Kansas City Chiefs going to Denver. Chiefs 4-2, Broncos 2-4, but the Chiefs coming off a couple losses. Are they? You think they're in a position to bounce back? I think they will. Short week on the road. Typically, that might be hard, especially for a team that's now lost two in a row. But I think this has got to be a spot where on a national stage, Patrick Mahomes steps up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they bounce back. Look, that was a tough loss. They didn't get smeared, they didn't get blown out. So anytime you don't get blown out, that tells me your team has promise and it's sitting on the verge of exploding and becoming better. It's just, I think it was just one of those games where it was in Arrowhead, so it was surprising, but I think the Chiefs they're built to come back. So
Yeah, I would agree. And Andy Reid led teams when their backs against the wall, which losing two straight, that means your back's against the wall. I don't care where you're at, in the season. Your back's against the wall a little bit now. It's going to be time to find out who they are as a team. And I think this, Andy will know the right buttons to push there in Kansas City. So I think the Chiefs get the win.
yeah.
So let's go ahead and move on. The Washington Redskins playing host to the San Francisco 49ers. What do you think?
I'm going to go 49ers, man. I just think the 49ers got something. They got some kind of magic going right now.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. San Francisco, Jimmy Garoppolo, they seem to have something going there. And so, I definitely think San Francisco. So we got that one down. Again, both agreeing. The Arizona Cardinals at the New York Giants. What do you think?
I never thought I'd say this far in the season, but I think the New York Giants.
I didn't catch that, but I'm having some audio issues.
Okay, I said, I didn't think I would say that at this point in the season, but I'm going to have to go New York Giants.
Okay, so I guess you're going the Giants. I was planning on taking the Giants as well. Daniel Jones and the Giants. I don't think they're a half bad team. They're not good by any stretch. That defense is god awful, but I just think they might be able to make one or two more big plays in Arizona. So, all right, let's move on to your hometown team, the Houston Texans, going to Indianapolis. Now, what's the vibe right now in Houston? They just got a win in Kansas City. They got to be feeling good about themselves.
Houston's badass because of the Astros. So everybody's thinking we're on a Houston hiatus right now. Let me tell you something right now. I'm all about Christian McCaffrey being MVP, but if I had to give a second runner-up behind him, I'm moving Deshaun Watson up that list above Patrick Mahomes. Deshaun Watson is on top of his game.
Yeah, no, Deshaun Watson's been playing some lights-out football.
Yeah.
And I think I would tend to agree. I think the Houston Texans go on the road to Indianapolis and get the win. Now, next up, the Oakland Raiders at the Green Bay Packers, who are 5-1, and I think very fortunate to be there after their win against Detroit on Monday night.
Well, Look, Detroit's a solid team. Like I feel like Detroit's got this weird aura because of their past and whatnot. I think Patricia's onto something. I'm gonna go with Detroit. I think Detroit can pull this one out.
Well, okay. What are we at? Yeah, this is Raiders Packers that we've got right now. But I was.
Well, looks like we've lost Eric on our stream. We'll wait for Eric to return. There he is. To make it back. Let me refresh. Let's see what we got going here. Are we back and going there? Looks like I think we've lost Eric. Any sound, Eric? Are you there? Your mic? No? Seems like we've lost Eric's mic. Let him refresh, come back. There you are. Well, I hear you now.
Yeah, I exited out and came back in.
Okay, cool. Let me update the streams, make sure we're good. There we go. Okay, we're good.
All right, so sorry about that. Anybody who's a fan of the Phillyverse knows that we can't have a show without some technical difficulties. No, that's kind of our trademark. Now, I don't know where we left off. I had the Raiders, Packers, and I had the Raiders as my upset pick of the week. I think they go into Lambeau and get the win.
I'm going with you.
Okay.
I'm going to in that one, yeah.
All right, so next up, Vikings at the Lions.
Oh, that's what I was. Okay, that's where I got mixed up. I thought we were talking Lions, Vikings. I'm going Lions.
Okay. I'm going Lions as well, just because the Vikings finally put together 2 straight wins. I don't think they make it 3. I think the Detroit Lions, a tough loss on Monday Night Football. Some people think there was some questionable officiating. I mean, I don't know. Like, to me, it almost seems like a broken record to continue to harp on how terrible the officials have been this year. I think that's been an overriding theme. And I don't just say that for any Eagles games, because I don't think the officiating had anything to do with the Eagles losing to the Vikings on Sunday.
Right.
Which I know everybody marked that down. Eric actually didn't blame the officials for a loss.
I know. I was about to say I was letting you finish your complete thought. But I was going to go, wait. Eric not attacking the Zebras? That's new.
Well, I'll still attack the Zebras, but I don't think they're accountable for the loss this past Sunday for the Eagles.
Okay.
So, we'll move along to the Jaguars at the Bengals. And I know that's a game you'll be glued to your TV watching. 2 god-awful football teams. I think.
Yeah, anytime I see cats go at it, I usually just close the door, turn off the TV.
Look, for personal reasons, that brings back some terrible, some traumatizing memories for me when I see the cats start fighting.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's going to be tough for me to watch, but I guess I'll take the Jaguars. Bengals haven't won a game yet. Why am I going to pick them now?
Yeah, I'm going Jaguars just because I like the colors better. Otherwise, I couldn't pick.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's as good a reason as any.
Yeah.
All right, now an AFC East matchup: the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills.
Well, look,
there was a time in the '90s I'd say mid '90s, this was like a premier matchup.
Yeah.
Like, remember Brian Cox saying that, like, when he was on the Dolphins, saying that if he ever got traded to Buffalo, he'd retire.
Yeah. Well,
Didn't he end up on the Bills too for a little bit?
what's that?
Didn't he end up on the Bills for
Yeah.
like a minute anyway?
Yeah. I think they put him on there. He's there like a week. And he's on out. Yeah.
And then he retired?
He made that very clear.
Yeah, I guess I'll take the Bills. They're at home. They've actually been playing good football. And
Yeah. They got a killer defense. I'm going to go Bills.
yeah. All right. The Rams at the Falcons. Rams a couple tough losses here recently. The Falcons have been god awful, with the exception of when the Eagles went there. When I got to visit them, they decided to show up and play ball. I guess they're waiting for me to come back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'll take the Rams. Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think the strength and weakness, one strength and one weakness of each team?
Well, the strength of the Rams, I think, a lot of weapons on offense. Yeah, and then with the influx now of Jalen Ramsey on that defense.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how much he's going to be able to he won't know much scheme. I mean, he'll know, hey, go guard your man, and that's probably when he's out there. That's what his job's going to be.
All right, you can miss me. I'm gonna go Rams. I'm easy today.
There you go. All right, so Chargers at the Titans.
God, why are all these games just sounding like crap? Like it's like
yeah, right.
Yeah, this is like
what are we supposed to watch until Sunday Night Football?
Exactly. I'm gonna go. Dolphins, man. I think. Wait,
they're not playing in that game.
I know.
Chargers. Okay.
I know. I was making a point of like, I thought shitty. I thought Miami.
Sure.
You know what? I think the Chargers are going to lose that game.
Okay. Well, I'll go against you, even though Ryan Tannehill set to make the start for the Tennessee Titans on Sunday instead of Marcus Mariota.
What do you think about that? Do you think Mariota is eventually just not the quarterback of the Titans?
Yeah. I think it hasn't worked. It's funny, when quarterbacks go 1 and 2, typically one works out and one doesn't.
Right.
It looks like in the case of Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota, maybe neither of them are going to work out.
Do you think on top of that, man, my hair is like floppy today. If you think on top of that, do you think Mariota becomes a permanent backup to any other team he goes to, or do you think he can be a starter somewhere else?
I could certainly see somebody else having the idea that they could get him and fix him and make him their starter. But if it doesn't work there, then it's backup city for him the rest of his career.
Right.
But, I mean, then again, there's a couple quarterbacks. Like, I think Teddy Bridgewater this year in free agency is going to find a way to get somewhere to become a starter. He's done a good job in New Orleans filling in for Drew Brees. And so I got to believe that he's going to look to be a starter. And then with all the guys that are coming in from college, how many spots are going to be there? So franchise is going to be willing to say, hey, you're a retread, but we'll give you a shot at the keys to the franchise. So he might be in a situation kind of like Bridgewater for different reasons, where he goes in somewhere else, but as a backup, and then he's got to hope
that ends up evolving again. Yeah. Good point, man. Think about that.
So, all right. Now, speaking of, I guess I can't skip right over to I was going to segue with the Teddy Bridgewater talk and go to the Saints Bears, but we'll stay in order on my board here.
Okay.
Ravens Seahawks.
I'm gonna go Seahawks. I think Seahawks are picking up some steam. I think they're solidifying. I think they started off slow, and I think they're really kind of come together. And I think Russell Wilson seems like he's getting better every game.
Yeah, doesn't it seem like every year you can kind of say that about Seattle? Where it's like they start off slow, and then it's like, once you get to October, it's like, wait, they're a pretty decent team. And then when you get to November, it's like, wait, that's a really good team. And then December, it's like, yeah, I don't want to have to play them in the playoffs.
It's the truth. It is. The Seahawks are this weird, like, no matter what year it is, they're not like Patriot level, but you just know they're a thorn somewhere eventually in the end of your season or the playoffs.
Yeah, I feel like if you're one of those teams, and you look at your schedule, like at the end of the season, you look over and you see teams you got to play next year, and you see Seattle listed on there. All you're thinking is, man, I really hope we get them in September.
Yeah, definitely.
And so now we'll go with the Bears Saints matchup.
Ugh, Saints.
Yeah,
Are playing impressively well, and I picked them to cave, and that was before Drew Brees even got lost. But it almost seems
yeah.
like
I thought when Drew Brees got hurt that you were gonna be able to sit here and pump your chest a little bit, talking about how you thought the Saints would do.
I did too. I did too.
But I'm gonna go against you. I think the Chicago Bears get the win this week.
I think you're nuts.
Oh, look, I think both defenses are going to have to come to play. And I think the Bears defense is a little better than the Saints defense. But, I mean, the Saints defense.
I would agree there. There's something about the Saints offense and Peyton, the way he runs it, it's finely oiled. It looks finely oiled right now. Even with, I feel like he could put any quarterback in there and run what he's doing.
All right. Now, next up, the undefeated New England Patriots at the New York Football Jets. The Sam Darnold mononucleosis conquering and right. Cowboys beating New York Jets.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Patriots. And what's scary about the Patriots, I don't think most people even paying attention to, the Patriots typically start slow, gain momentum, gain strength, and solidify midway season and then end strong. They've been good since day one. So getting stronger from their day one version is freaking scary to me.
You know what? I'm going to bring up a personal note here. Last week, I lost my aunt, my mom's twin sister. She passed away. And my cousin, her daughter, is a huge New York Jets fan. And they got the win over the Dallas Cowboys just days after her passing. And, I sent her a text saying, hey, that was your mom, looking out for you and, giving you something positive there. And she really appreciated that. So I'd like to do that 2 weeks in a row, but I just can't.
Yeah. There's something about the Patriots that makes you feel foolish.
Yeah, I'm not going against the evil empire.
Yeah.
And that brings us, good sir, to the reason why we do this. That brings us to the rivalry that defines this show. It's the best. Look, 50 weeks out of the year, you and I are as civil as can be. I'd even call you one of my best friends. This is Eagles Dallas week. This is one of those 2 weeks out of the year where we're not as civil.
That's right.
So
what's your actual prediction? Like, score? Who you think brings it? What do you think happens here?
I think Jalen Mills is apparently going to play. He was on the PUP list, and he's going to be able to play this week. A good physical corner, something the Eagles have desperately needed. I mean, last week they got
the spread while you're talking.
They got absolutely shredded by the Vikings offense, and to the point where Zach Brown was cut by the Eagles after he made some comments earlier in last week about how Kirk Cousins is the weak link of the Viking offense, which you and I may think that and even come on this show and say, but Zach Brown, you can't be giving them the bulletin board material, and your play has not warranted putting up with those kind of antics. So after Kirk Cousins burned us for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, the Eagles looked at Zach Brown saying, hey, you and your band can get out of here. And so
look, I mean, I think we're going to kick your ass up and down the field. And I don't think it's because we're the superior team. I think we're so fucking hungry right now. It's pathetic. And I think that's just going to drive this rage in the Cowboys. I think right now they're fucking pissed. I think they're angry now because it's nothing like they thought it was going to be. It's been a disaster. They've lost all these games where in the fourth quarter, all of a sudden we can play football in the fourth quarter. It seems that the Cowboys can catch up with any team in the fourth quarter. But I think that we're so disappointed in ourselves that we've become angry, and I think the anger will drive us to kick some ass.
Well, it's funny because the Eagles and Cowboys have basically been playing the same style, that, sluggish start. And I think this could be another game where both teams offensively stumble out of the gate. And then, we'll see which team can pick it up more in the second half. The Eagles, 3 straight road games, I thought they'd go 2-1 on this trip. And in order to do that, they have to win in Dallas. And so I'm going to pick them to go into Dallas and win. Dallas has lost 2 straight, I know. And I know that's a big shock that you and I are each picking our teams against the others.
Yeah. Well, we have legitimate reasons. Our teams are fucking hungry. Like, we're not looking like we're supposed to, and we're pissed off. I mean, this is bullshit.
And look, a lot of people come out and look, Doug Peterson said, but he didn't say that he said the Eagles were going to come into Dallas and win. Now, he said that wasn't a guarantee when he said it on a local sports radio station here, but he just said he believes in his guys, and he says, hey, we're going to go in there, we're going to get the win. And that was more of a message to his team. And although I'd really prefer he didn't do the bulletin board material, maybe he should have learned something from Zach Brown. But, I mean, he believes in his guys, and just like I'm sure, and I personally don't have a problem with that. Just like if Jason Garrett were to be given the same podium and were to say the same thing, I wouldn't have a problem with that either. I mean, you should believe in if you don't believe in your team, who the hell is?
Yeah, and that's true. I mean, look, like I said, I'm always a realist at the end of the day, regardless of my fandom. And we can either judge our team or we can judge if we were playing on the team. How would we feel personally right now? And if I'm the Cowboys, I am pissed the fuck off. We've lost a 2-point game, a 3-point game. Like, it's just like, Jesus Christ. All these games came down to not that we lost to a better team, that we didn't play our better game that we know how to play like we do in a fourth quarter. Now, I will give one area that could hamper us from being able to win, regardless of how hungry we are. Amari Cooper and his weird injury that's going on with him, where he seems okay and he's not. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, he's our main threat. Yeah, and Ezekiel Elliott is not looking.
He's listed as questionable.
Yeah,
is he going to play?
And Ezekiel Elliott, I don't know. And Ezekiel Elliott's looking like a $90 running back, not a $90 million running back, which is why I said we should have traded him for some picks. If you go back to our earlier episode, because I'm like, dude, running backs, you just need a good running back. You don't need the best running back to win games.
And I feel like the Eagles are an example of that, right? You look back at 2017. I mean, they had Ajayi, LeGarrette Blount, but their offense, their passing game was the reason why they won football games that year. And I feel like, last year, Jared Goff, and as great as Todd Gurley was for the Rams, Jared Goff was a big reason why that team was winning. And, look at the teams they played in their conference title games. Drew Brees and the Saints, I mean, granted, they have a good running back in Alvin Kamara, and he's good, but I think what makes him even more dynamic is because of the way he can contribute in the passing game.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's funny. I did not think our fucking record to be the same when we got to this point. Well, I thought I'd either be ahead by 1 or being back by 1. So I thought it'd either be someone holding someone off or someone being hungry to get ahead.
I wouldn't have been shocked with our records being the same, but I would have thought 4-2 or 5-1, not 3-3.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Like, it's a desperate record.
Yeah. I mean, the loser of this game, all of a sudden, man, their back's against the wall. And especially for the Dallas Cowboys, because this is when they're going to really get into the meat and potatoes of their schedule.
Well, I told you, it does not matter.
Yeah.
The ginger who coaches our team means we will never get to a Super Bowl. And Jerry and his fucking statement this week of, hey, whoever bets on him getting fired, that's a losing bet right there. Whatever his bullshit Cowboy statement was, that he's right. But at the end of the year is where you make your bet and you win all your money. When he fires him at the end of the year, I just can't.
Yeah, go with the long-term bet there. Don't go week to week on that one.
Exactly. And like I said, I think what it was, I think I brought it up in our last episode, but I'll try to remember if I can. Any team who has lost, that are 1-2, or I'm sorry, that drop 3 in a row,
Yes,
has a 12% chance of making the playoffs. So if we lose to you guys, we're down to 12%.
yeah.
If you guys lose to us, you're down to 12%. And let's face it, 12% just because you make the playoffs, it's a sign that you probably would get destroyed in the playoffs too.
It's funny. I right away tried to go into my head if I could think of a time where the Eagles lost 3 straight and made the playoffs. One time came to mind. Now, I don't know if it's the only time, but one time in particular came to mind, and that was back in 1996. The Eagles lost 3 straight games to the Buffalo Bills, the Washington Redskins, and the Arizona Cardinals in consecutive weeks. And they ended up making the playoffs that year as a wild card team, having to go to San Francisco, and they lost 14-0. So they made the playoffs, but then early exit didn't score a point in the playoffs.
Right.
So yeah, it's an uphill battle. And then, like, if you even make the playoffs, you're going on the road to a real tough environment. And it just spells, a real hardship for 2 teams who had championship aspirations.
At the beginning of the season, both of our teams had some fucking championship aspirations. In fact, your team was expected to win, and my team was basically going to throw down with you to make sure to see if you were really going to get it.
You guys were going to
you were basically probably going to face us. Yeah. And now we don't even know if either one of us are going to fucking make it there now.
Right. I mean, you figure one of us are going to win this division, and then is the other one even going to the playoffs?
But as to this game, I'm going to go. I want to go here. The Cowboys always surge in points in the fourth quarter. We have like some kind of weird fourth quarter, like fucking fireworks show. I'm going to go 32-24 Cowboys.
All right. I will go 38-34 Eagles.
Okay, so we're close in the competitiveness.
Yeah. Because I
didn't think you'd be that close. I thought you'd blow us out or something.
Oh, well, I mean, I thought about coming out and just saying that 56-10. But
I tell you what, $56.10. If Dak loses, that's going to be about his new salary he's going to be getting. So,
right?
All I know is that guy's salary has definitely come down.
Oh, yeah, you got to believe this is one of those games where he's playing for his contract because he's going to look right over it. If he gets a win, he's going to look right over at Jerry Jones and says, hey, that's what Carson's making. I just went out and beat him.
Yeah, he's going to exactly. And Carson is kind of the market setter right now.
Yeah.
And, right now, or let's say before the last loss, I'd say even when we lost to the Saints, when he lost by 2 points, he was still in there. He held the ball, no interceptions, didn't throw any crazy balls to put us behind in a hole. I think he was at about a $32 million asking price then.
Mm-hmm.
I think with each game, he's dropping about $2 million. So right now, I think he's a $28 million quarterback. And if he loses this game, he moves down to a $26 million quarterback to me.
And if he loses 56-10, he's about what, a $5,000 quarterback?
Oh, he's $56.10. Like I said, look, I like Dak, but at the end of the day, man, if we see a kid coming out of college, it's just more of a better prospect. I'm okay with replacing him. I get why Jerry likes him because the system that we have and whatnot, but I am sick and tired of hearing everybody saying the Cowboys have the best offensive line in football. No, we don't, because I've seen them get their ass kicked twice now. They don't look like the best offensive line anymore. I haven't seen Dak run so much in his career as these last 2 games.
But there was a time where I would say that the Dallas offensive line was the best in football.
Are they a solid offensive line? Yes. Or are they the best? Absolutely not.
That'd be an interesting question to go around and look. I mean, I honestly haven't seen enough of each team to be able to tell you who's got the best offensive line right now. I don't think it's the Eagles, and I don't think it's the Cowboys. Probably the Patriots. Tom Brady never gets hit. If he gets looked at funny, they throw a flag for unnecessary roughness. So I guess maybe the Patriots would be my pick for best offensive line. But yeah, I agree with you. Cowboys
offensive and defensive line. I think they're the best on both sides of the ball right now. The Patriots are pissing me off. Once again,
seriously.
they're the team to beat. They're the team to be worried about. They're the team that no matter how good anybody in the NFC is, they're probably going to get beat by the Patriots as it looks right now.
It's funny. I really looked at this stage when preseason. I thought, man, the Eagles can come out 3-1 to start. Maybe 4-1 going into the Dallas game, and I thought, man, that could be a spot where instead of necessarily worrying about are we good enough for Dallas, we're going to be already thinking in a few weeks we got the Patriots. That's the game. That's our measuring stick. But no, this week against Dallas, this is critical.
Yeah.
And just think, both of our teams still have the New England Patriots on our schedule. We have that to look forward to.
Yay! Well, hey, hopefully they suck by then, and we don't got to worry about it. But that's not likely. Let me ask you this before we get off. I know our time we've hit the 30-minute mark. Do we think the Patriots can go undefeated?
Well, typically my answer to that would be no.
Let me look at their schedule while you're talking.
Okay. But look, they're the team that Brady and Belichick have been there before. They've gone through a regular season undefeated. I never thought I'd have to make that reference and say, well, why not? Because they've done it before. But that tandem has done that before. So I definitely will not put that out of the question to say they can do it again. And I think this team is better than that team that
I agree. There's something weird about this team. It's not even like there's big names. They're just fundamentally sound as hell.
Right. It's like maybe you can't find one particular area where you're like, oh, okay, that's the reason why they're the best, other than Tom Brady, a quarterback. But everywhere you look at it, it's like whoever they were to match up with anywhere, you'd say, okay, the offensive line, the Patriots definitely have the advantage. The defensive line, the Patriots definitely have the advantage. The running game, because of the depth of the running backs, I think you'd say the Patriots have the advantage. The receiving core,
it's freaking scary, man. It's just it's this team and this dynasty is sickening because a lot of people are like, well, one day there'll be another dynasty. I'm like, no, I just don't quite think this is ever going to happen again. I just don't.
20 years basically of the Patriots just running amok.
Yeah. So let's look at, as stands right now, obviously we're going to go over these games as we go through the season. And This is all subject to change on what we think if the Patriots drop 4 games in a row or something.
Right.
But right now, Patriots, Jets, we're going Pats. Browns, Patriots. I'm going to go Pats.
Yeah.
Patriots, Ravens. Could be a loss there. That's
going to be a good game. The Patriots and Ravens always play each other tough. John Harbaugh and Bill Belichick really match up well. But that's a good one to put your finger on and say, okay, that's a good time to be watching. But yeah, I still think, in the end, I'd take the Patriots.
Patriots, Eagles. As of right now, I think the Pats can beat the Eagles.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Cowboys, Pats, our next game. I think the Pats can beat the Cowboys. Pats, Texans. That will be a good game.
Yeah.
Pats, Chiefs. That will be a good game.
Yeah. That could be another game, when we talk about the games to put your finger on and say, hey, where are the potential losses? Right there, Kansas City. I mean, if they get their act together, I think they could be a team that beats the Patriots.
And then we got Pats, Bengals, Pats, Bills, Pats, Dolphins. So Bengals will beat them. Dolphins will beat them. The Bills did hold them to 10 points.
Yeah, and the only reason they got more than that was the block punt, but that's another area.
Yeah, that's what I said. Let's see if the Bills turn into total garbage in 4 games. We know the Patriots aren't going to be total garbage, but so right now we think basically there's 3 games on their schedule that are really.
Yeah, I'd say the Ravens game, the Chiefs game, and then look, I think the Eagles and Cowboys could both give them a tussle. The matchup's right. I think that could definitely work.
Okay, so there's spot. We'll throw our teams in there and say maybe our teams have a surge of all of a sudden badassness kicking them. So we'll say there's 5 games total, but realistically looking at it, I really only see 2 struggles.
Yeah, like I said, unless Tom Brady just one day comes out and says, hey, I'm colorblind. I'm not as committed to this game anymore. I just want to sit at home and have sex with my wife.
Exactly.
Unless
it'd be crazy. I'm like, it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy. You're not going to choose Giselle over football. He hasn't already.
Yeah, right.
So, all right. Well, we shall see, man. When we talk on the other end, we will know who the victor is and who's getting the spoils and the last laugh. Of course, it'll be not the last laugh because we play each other again, but
yeah, well, the first
laugh. There we go. Yeah, exactly. The first laugh. All right, man.
All right. Well, thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure go in and check out all the podcasts available on the Phillyverse. You got the Monday night, the flagship show, Football Smack Talk show. You've got Tuesday nights, the Broadcast with Ryan and Ryan. Of course, Wednesdays, you already know. We got that on lock right here on Mike Sports, exclusively on YouTube. And then you've got Thursday nights. It's all about wrestling, the Tables, Ladders, and Chairs podcast with me and Joe. And quick programming note: probably in a couple weeks, I'll be having surgery on the 28th of October. So that week, I will be incapacitated for any podcast.
And I will not do the show without Eric because I will be in mourning for Eric.
Or maybe I'm thinking because Monday is the surgery. I'm wondering if we could do a special episode of Mike Sports on that Monday night. I could be all doped up in the hospital.
Yeah, that sounds great. Can't wait.
If I just let a few curse words go, if I you pick the Patriots to lose to the Dolphins, I can just blame it all on the drugs.
That's true. That's true.
And I'll also give a plug to you, for your life coach show. Do a great job on that.
Yeah, Life Coach Landry. It goes. I call myself Coach Landry, but it's Life Coach Landry on YouTube. I have over 300 videos on relationships, common problems. I also do iTunes sessions where people call in, talk, ask questions. I give them my advice, and I also tell my own stories and struggles I've had and experiences and things I've done to better things or fix problems or work things out with people. So it's a good channel if you got a lot of questions or you're going through something and you need some good quick. I have videos under 5 minutes. I have videos that are 20 minutes. And I have videos where I give you broad strokes and videos where I give you details on how to go through problems. The fact is in life, every face I've ever run into, there's a story behind it. And there's usually things they're thinking about. It's the kind of channel I run.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thank everybody for watching. Make sure to tune in next week. Until then, happy football. Go Eagles.
Exactly. How about them?